They rushed into the flames to save lives. The building was unstable, the smoke thick, the heat unbearable. But that's what heroes do. Everyone else made it out. But firefighters Daniel Reyes and Malik Foster never returned. The blaze was ruled accidental. But what investigators found in the wreckage told a different story, because the fire wasn't just a tragedy. It was a trap. It started just before dawn, an alarm blaring from an abandoned textile factory on the outskirts of Briar Hollow. The building had been empty for years, condemned, marked for demolition. Locals said it was a magnet for squatters and rumors. But on that cold February morning, flames engulfed the East Wing in under 4 minutes. Station 14 responded first. Among the crew, Captain Daniel Reyes and his rookie partner, Malik Foster. Daniel had been on the job 17 years. Malik, just 24, was still proving himself. They didn't hesitate. They ran inside while others held the perimeter. Eyewitnesses said they saw them enter through the east entrance at 5:42 a.m. That was the last time anyone saw them alive. By the time the fire was contained, their radios had gone silent, their heat signatures gone. And when the smoldering shell of the building was finally searched, there were no bodies, no helmets, no remains. By the time backup arrived from Station 11, visibility was near zero inside the building. Teams with thermal imagers searched for Reyes and Foster's last location, but every signal cut out 10 feet inside the East Wing. It was like something swallowed the heat, one responder said. Strangely, the fire hadn't spread uniformly. Large portions of the structure were untouched, as if the flames had been guided. When the search teams reached what should have been a collapsed floor, they found solid ground. No debris, no scorched equipment, just silence. "We expected chaos," said Lieutenant Geller. But it was sterile, wrong. The last transmission from Reyes's radio came at 5:47 a.m., 5 minutes after entry. He'd whispered, "There's no way out." Then static. Foster's radio pinged one more time at 5:49 a.m., but no voice. After that, both signals disappeared from the internal system. Technicians later confirmed their trackers had stopped transmitting before any structural collapse occurred. It was as if something else had cut them off, something deliberate. Later that day, city engineers reviewed archived blueprints of the old textile factory. What they found deepened the mystery. The official floor plans from 1982 showed no subbasement, yet multiple responders had described finding a stairwell, clean, concrete, oddly preserved, leading downward near the East Wing. One firefighter claimed he felt a draft from below, like air was being pulled down there. But when inspectors returned, the staircase was gone. Burnt debris covered the area. No signs of recent renovation. The blueprints, when cross-checked with demolition records, revealed inconsistencies. Missing permits, no final clearance, and strangely, a secondary building permit issued under a different company name just 6 weeks before the fire. The company no longer existed. Investigators suspected arson, but not for insurance. It was as if someone wanted the place destroyed, along with anyone who entered. The deeper they dug, the more it looked like a setup. But why target 2 firefighters? And what was waiting beneath that floor? 3 days after the fire, a city technician combing through the rubble discovered a small, blackened metal box embedded inside a scorched wall near the east entrance. It was a security camera, military-grade, heat-resistant, and hardwired independently from the building's electrical system. It wasn't part of any city installation, and it wasn't visible on any blueprint or permit file. Miraculously, the storage drive inside was partially intact. When data analysts retrieved the footage, what they found defied explanation. The camera had only one angle, fixed directly on the east entryway where Reyes and Foster entered. At 5:42 a.m., they were seen stepping in. At 5:47, the feed glitched. Then came a single frame, just one. That showed something chilling. Both men standing completely still inside the smoke, looking upward, as if they heard something. Their faces were visible. Their expressions were blank. Not panic, not confusion, just stillness. The next frame? Static. The feed ended at 5:49, the exact moment their radios went silent. Following the camera discovery, fire investigators re-examined the site using ground-penetrating radar. To their shock, they located a hollow void beneath the east wing, nearly 20 feet underground. The city sent a specialized recovery team, who dug through charred debris and collapsed beams until they uncovered a sealed metal hatch, welded shut from the inside. When they finally pried it open, the air that escaped was cold, sterile, and metallic. Beneath the factory was a hidden concrete chamber, walls unburned, floors spotless. In the center stood a single metal gurney and an overhead surgical light, both covered in dust but untouched by flame. On the far wall was an observation window, one-way glass, cracked from heat, but still intact. There were no bodies, no blood, no signs of struggle. But in the corner, placed deliberately on a metal shelf, were two items: Captain Reyes's helmet and Malik Foster's fireproof jacket. Both were clean. No burns, no soot, no explanation. 2 days after the underground chamber was exposed, federal agents arrived, unannounced and without visible credentials. They closed off the site, citing national security, and ordered the local fire department to cease all further investigation. The city's incident report was redacted. When reporters asked for answers, they were told the fire was electrical in origin, and all recovery efforts were concluded. But not everyone stayed silent. A fire marshal who had worked the case from day one leaked a photo to the press. A tall man in a dark suit standing at the edge of the cratered foundation, staring down into the hatch. The photo was grainy, but his posture was strange. Arms behind his back, head tilted slightly. Witnesses say he never spoke, never moved, just watched. The photo was quickly scrubbed from most outlets, but not before Reddit users grabbed it. Theories spread: Black Ops cover-up, government experiment, secret research facility buried under the factory. All they had were questions. And a name Reyes had scribbled in his notebook a week before the fire: Denton Systems, do not trust. A week later, Malik Foster's sister, Aaliyah, received an anonymous envelope in her mailbox. No return address. Inside was a USB drive marked with a single word: listen. The file contained a voice recording, choppy, full of static, but unmistakably Malik's voice. He sounded panicked, whispering fast as if hiding. They're not dead, not yet. They took us below. They're watching. Don't come back here. Then silence. A mechanical hum followed, low, pulsing, almost like a generator. Then a second voice spoke, one Aaliyah didn't recognize. It was calm, male and distant. Test complete. Reacquire subject. The file ended abruptly. Forensics couldn't trace the source. No timestamp, no metadata, nothing to prove it was real. But Aaliyah knew her brother's voice. He was alive, she said. That wasn't smoke he was scared of. She brought the file to the press. But within 24 hours, every news article referencing it was removed. Her account was suspended. And the original file? Corrupted beyond recovery. Back at Station 14, things didn't return to normal. Reyes and Foster's lockers were left untouched, their gear sealed. But the night crew began reporting strange occurrences. Radio static would cut in during quiet shifts, always around 5:47 a.m. The exact time Reyes's final message was recorded. Sometimes, a faint voice would whisper from Channel 2, which hadn't been used since the fire. No way out, one firefighter heard during a midnight drill. Another swore he saw Reyes's turnout coat hanging on a hook in the engine bay. Then it vanished. At first, officers dismissed it as grief and stress. But one surveillance video from inside the firehouse showed an emergency exit door opening on its own at 5:49 a.m. sharp. For 3 nights in a row. No one near it. No wind. Nothing on infrared. They never came back, one firefighter said. But part of them never left. The station eventually moved all shifts to daylight hours. No one volunteered for overnights anymore. It wasn't until months later, during a routine inventory of Reyes's personal effects, that a sealed envelope was found taped beneath his desk drawer. It was addressed simply, "If anything happens, Inside was a handwritten letter, rushed, jagged, but clear. Something's going on at the old factory. Not just squatters. Something controlled. I've seen trucks at night, no plates. Foster's noticed too. They moved something inside last week. Biohazard cases. Not city marked. I'm going in tonight to take photos, alone, off duty. If I don't come back, check the stairwell by the east wing. It's not in the blueprints. He'd written the note days before the fire. It confirmed one terrifying truth. They hadn't walked into that blaze blindly. They went in knowing something was wrong. Something secret. Maybe even planned. The rescue call that morning may not have been an accident. It may have been a lure. For two men who got too close to something they weren't meant to see. To this day, the disappearance of Captain Daniel Reyes and firefighter Malik Foster remains officially unsolved. No remains, no cause of death, no official recognition of what truly happened beneath that abandoned factory. Their names are engraved on the city's fallen heroes memorial, but the story behind those names is spoken only in whispers. Some say they uncovered an illegal research facility. Others believe they were silenced by those who knew what the fire would hide. But what's certain is this. They died doing what few would dare, walking straight into danger, not just to fight flames, but to uncover a lie. They trusted their duty, their instincts, and each other. And they paid the ultimate price. For every firefighter, every first responder watching this, trust your gut. When the call seems too perfect, too controlled, ask questions. When the smoke clears, make sure no one rewrites the story without you in it. Because sometimes the fire isn't the danger, it's the cover. Kendall, thanks for watching. This is the Vanished Echo Stories, where silence speaks, and the missing are never forgotten. If you believe Reyes and Foster deserve justice, give this video a like. Share your thoughts in the comments. And most of all, stay aware, because not every rescue is what it seems.